Night lines for you, and some you'll want to chew on and some you might want to spit out. See what comes up. Hi, everybody. It is Black Spring on your Friday night. Once again, I thank you guys so much for coming in. And for those of you that are considering coming in, I thank you as always for doing that. But as I did say, I've got quite a few lines for you. Some of them I'll be able to move through a little bit quicker because of the nature of them. But some of them, you guys might want to chew on them. You might want to chew on them amongst yourselves in the chat, or you might want to grab the pendulum at some point and just pick a point, and we'll ride with you on that. All right. So before we get started, as always, I'd like to say a warm thank you to the loyal patrons, subscribers, and of course, the viewers like yourself. We'll be right back in less than 2 minutes. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Marcy T., Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. All right, guys, we are back on your Friday night, and I want to thank everybody so much for taking the time, for burning some minutes here on Black Spring with Autumn. I want to say hello to Fancy Truth and Derek C. Williams. Thank you, Derek C. Williams, for coming in. And he is in exercise mode indeed, letting the NBA playoffs on the TV just wash over me. Thank you so much for sharing some time with us here. Marcy T's here. All right. So yes, we will get the pendulum going here because you guys are going to want to jump on. I'm pretty sure. I say that without any braggadocio, but I'm confident in that. So welcome to Friday night Mocktales. All right, and we're back. So let's get with it here for just a second, just for kicks. You guys remember, I don't know, growing up, that little word called, or the phrase middle class, or, below the poverty line, these kinds of a bits. So, we're in the spirit of the elites reimagining things. But that includes in redefining things, Merriam-Webster redefining words and redefining the V word that ends with an S, But middle class has been on the docket apparently. So that's the first line we're going to go to. And then we're going to go to, we have quite a few facilities that have been destroyed. Processing plants for meat have been destroyed. We do have a little bit of we had a kind of a momentous week with the Justice Department saying that they would not appeal the face flag ruling unless the CDC says they are still needed. So about these agencies, these people are acting like committees. You think we're in Europe where we have some committee over here making rules. Come on, people. Come on. All right, and then we have a little bit of infanticide. I kind of talked about this a little while back, but I want to show you some of the footage that's happening with the California Assembly. I'm going to show you some of that, what's happening with that. So that's going to be the bulk of what I've got for you this evening. I hope you guys are doing well out there. So let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling, and the pendulum's going to come out. So if you're around, just hang tight. We'll probably bring that pendulum out probably around story number 2. So pick your battle. All right, choose your weapon. All right, so we're gonna get going here. Marcy T comes in with a hen that lays eggs are being destroyed. Pretty intense, right? Pretty intense. Thank you so much, Marcy T. I really appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you for coming in. So let's go in and see what we have here, what they have for us. Let's see where you think you rank amongst these things. These statistics, I think the Pew Institute is definitely out of DC. So here again, I think the premise is always set by those who think they know better than us and those who think they are best to define us. They are best to know what sustains us, and they know best of what destroys us. So, that's the kind of narcissistic, the traits I'm talking about. So let's rock into this. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. Once again, here we go. All right. So according to this, here's who is considered middle class and how they are fared during the first year of you guessed it, the P to the A to the N to the D to the E to the M to the IC. Okay, this is a Megan Leonhardt, which has penmanship there. According to this, what does it even mean to be middle class in America these days? The Pew Research Center has put a financial definition to the term, quote, middle income, end quote. Okay, to be considered, people, part of that group in 2021, which is synonymous with middle class. According to Pew, a single American must have earned $30,003 to $90,010, according to a new set of reports released Wednesday. But that range does vary by the size of the household. A 3-person household must have earned $51,962 to $155,902 to be considered middle class, while a family of 4 must earn about $60,000 to $180,000. So here they give you a little bit of infographic here where they're showing you they're giving you the ranges, and they're giving you who is middle class and upper, who is middle income. This is their new term, quote, middle income, end quote, and quote, upper income, quote. And this looks like these figures, they say they got these from 2020. And it's just they give you your note here, so you guys can dig into that as you wish. To go on here, why the different ranges for different sizes of families. Smaller households typically require less income to support the same lifestyle as larger households, especially if that family includes children who don't yet earn an income. Pew tends to update its definition of middle class on an annual basis. The research released Wednesday is based on Pew's analysis of the 2021 current population surveys and annual social and economic supplement produced by the U.S. Census Bureau. Pew also has a calculator that's updated periodically that lets readers enter where they live, how much they earn, and how many are in their household to get a more personalized definition of where they fall in the income spectrum. Even though incomes have continued to rise, those who can consider themselves middle class, at least in a financial sense, have shrunk in the past 5 decades. According to Pew, about 61% of American adults were part of a middle class family in 1971. Last year, it was just 50%, a level that has stayed fairly consistent since the Great Recession, according to Pew. Yet the early days of the CV-19 hit middle and lower income families harder financially, says Rakesh Koshar, a senior researcher at Pew. From 2010 to 2019, the median income for middle class families based on a household of 3 grew 15% from $79,838 to $92,042. After the P to the C hit, incomes dropped about 2% in a single year, sending the median income down to $90,131 in 2020. Lower income households experienced a similar rise and fall. So this story continues. As you can see, let's just view this interactive chart on fortune.com. Now you guys can take part in that, but this is apparently this was a derived from the original source was a fortune.com. However, to close it out, but the effects likely would have been much worse if the federal government had not provided enhanced unemployment benefits, which nearly 1 in 5 middle-class families received, according to Pew. Quote, that likely put sort of a floor to how much incomes fell during this time for lower and middle income families, end quote, Koshar said. While the Great Recession had a significant impact on Americans' finances, this latest pandemic spurred recession, I said it, was so short and government support so robust, Koshar believes it's unlikely to lead to a significant shift in incomes. But it's harder to tell how the recovery in 2021 will affect Americans standing in the various income brackets. Quote, yes, there was recovery, but we already have signs that incomes are not keeping pace with inflation, end quote, Koshar says, adding that there's too much uncertainty to predict how Americans' finances shifted in the second year of the pandemic. So if you want to go to the original source on this one, you can find that one on fortune.com. And then you can also you can oblige them or take them up on their interactive chart over there on fortune.com. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Who do we have? I've got some comments going in there. Derek C. Williams comes in with accelerating food shortages. Best to have some storable food. Glad Derek has some and buying more. Teach. Okay, so there's that. And then from that, we're going to go on to one of these facilities. That has been named in, wow. Can you guys, this is so much worse than, we never really get to the bottom of anything. They just keep doing things and we just kind of keep flapping around. Is that fair to say? We keep waiting on the saviors of under this banner and under that banner, and it's not working for me. Okay, so we're going to go on. We're going to head on over to investmentwatchblog.com. And there we'll find the headline. So I hope you guys are doing well out there. I want to thank you so much again for tuning in. Joseph Francis Burton comes in with a no BS. The government told us to shut down our small businesses, then offered us crap PPP loans. I did not take the bait. Thank you, Joseph Francis Burton. I really appreciate you for coming in and sharing your wisdom with us. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and share this article with you guys. You see how they twist and turn and manipulate. dip. That's what they like to do. Okay. And all right. So we're going to go here. You have this wonderful infographic here with this lady. Not sure what she's doing there, but we won't worry about that. However, I'm going to give you full screen on this one and welcome Joseph Francis Burton into the stream and everyone else if you're just joining us. All right, so what we have here is several very large food processing plants in the U.S. have blown up / burned down in the past few days. Okay, sharing is caring. According to this is a Twitter post. Dr. Benjamin Braddock at Graduated Ben. Several very large food processing plants in the U.S. have blown up / burned down in the past few days. And this is he posted this one from Newsweek. Said 7 injured in an explosion as fire engulfs food plant, smoke visible. A blast at a food manufacturing facility in Eastern Oregon sent workers to the hospital, and officials worried about. Okay, and then so we have one here, IdahoStatesman.com. Plane crashes into Idaho potato and food processing plant. Guys, this is incredible, right? This is incredible. I'm gonna pull these up here. I may have to redirect just because we might get the coverage out of Oregon Local and this other one. So let's see what shakes loose here. We'll see what shakes loose. So this one actually sent us to the Idaho Statesman, and it tells you of the plane that crashed. Plane crashes into Idaho potato and food processing plant, killing the pilot, cops say. Okay, that's Hayborn. So anybody, we have any Idahoans here? Represent. A pilot died, unfortunately, in a plane crash into Gem State Processing on April 13th, the police said. Okay, and looks like they might have, I'm not sure if they have the actual video here. According to this, a plane crashed into an Idaho potato and food processing plant, killing the pilot, police said. It hit Gem State Processing in Hayborn in East Idaho at about 8:35 a.m. on Wednesday, April 13th, the city police said. The pilot was the only person in the plane and died during the crash, police said. None of the employees at the processing plant were injured. Now it says, there's note here, is the editor's note. I'm not sure if this is the particular, I don't think that's related to this. However, the single engine plane crashed into the building and flipped on the roof, according to the East Idaho News. It was registered to Spirit Air in Salmon. Is it Salmon? The news outlet reported. The plane left the Salt Lake City International Airport at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, April 13th, according to ABC4. It was scheduled to land at the Burley Municipal Airport in Idaho at 8:35 a.m. Quote, the city of Hayborn sends its condolences to the family of the pilot, the aviation company, and to the Gem State Processing family during this difficult time, end quote. The police said in a news release. The identity of the pilot has not been publicly released. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board are investigating the crash. The agencies will determine the cause of the crash. Gem State Processing sources 18,000 acres of Idaho potatoes, according to Oregon Potato. Hayborn is about 160 miles southeast of Boise and 38 miles east of Twin Falls. Tragic. Gosh, guys, what do you guys think about this? I'm going to put this pendulum out here any moment, but not to worry. We'll circle back to we'll circle back to our original post here, because that actually just kind of took me into that. So we also have a Dr. Benjamin back on this side of things. We have Dr. Benjamin Braddock saying a fire destroyed the headquarters of the largest independent food distributor in the U.S., and there's barely any coverage of it. You see what this is? You see what the outrage? Are you guys outraged? Okay. And then, they're just racking them up here. This one gives you a detailed for immediate release. Fire destroys Azure Standard headquarter facility. Dufour, Oregon, April 19, 2022. The headquarters of Azure Standard, the U.S.'s largest independent food distributor, were destroyed by fire overnight. There was no injuries. Cause of the fire is unknown and under investigation. The loss of the facility and the impact on company-wide operations is being assessed and expected to be limited and temporary. No other Azure Standard facilities were affected. Azure Standard founder and CEO David Stelzer issued the following statement, quote, while the HQ facility is a total loss and a few product lines will be affected for the short term, other Azure Standard facilities are operating as close to normal as possible. Most importantly, we are grateful no one was injured. Our dedication to providing the highest quality food and products will continue as always. We ask for your patience and prayers as we take steps to adjust and rebuild. We appreciate our Azure community and our many expressions of support we are receiving, and will continue to update our vendors and customers as needed. We expect the impact to be short-term, limited in scope, and manageable, end quote. He also added, for our customers, 3 primary product groups are affected due to the destroyed automated liquid pour facility, fruit packing facilities, and carrot products facilities, end quote. He continued, quote, because of this, we will experience out of stock status for Azure Market oils, honey, and vinegars. Basically, any Azure Market liquid product, as well as our carob products for the short term. We are not yet at fruit harvest, so no immediate impact will be experienced from the loss of our fruit packing facility. None of the products we distribute from our vendors will be affected, end quote, he concluded. So there you see, this is, okay, I'm going to keep going here. So then we have another one. The hits just keep on coming. It looks like they could have this last month of Walmart distribution center. Let's see here. We got some footage on this. So let's see if we can see it. I don't know. They might take me over to the tweeters. We're gonna get, yeah. Does this sound a little bit? Is this a coincidence to you guys? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just asking. Hold on. I'm gonna take you guys over to the Twitters for this, so you can see some of this footage here. It's just amazing that that these things are not getting any coverage. Nobody's asking any questions. Yeah, hang on real tight. And I'm going to get this pendulum going for you guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. It's pretty traumatic here. It's like they're destroying. It's being done right under our nose. Okay. I'm going to play it right now for my people out there. Here you go. This is the facility. This is the Walmart distribution center. Gosh, does this not look cinematic to you guys almost? Let me play it again for anybody that's just coming in. Okay, I appreciate it. Let's just play it right now. One more time. Okay, so there you had, now you got a chance to see some of this, some of that. It looks cinematic, it looks surreal. It looks like something out of a movie. Look at those clouds, the smoke. These are, okay, hang tight just a second. I'm gonna get right back to the other article, and then I'm gonna get the pendulum going here for you guys. I really appreciate you guys, but this is all disturbing and it's not getting any coverage. But this is how you manufacture a crisis. This is how you manufacture a food shortage. What you got? What are we saying now? We got witnesses at some point, but some of these places are only one person is sacrificed in this whole bit. It just doesn't pass the smell test with me. I don't know about you guys, but just saying. Okay, so yes, several large food processing plants. So let's scroll us down here, shall we? Okay, I'm gonna scroll us down. All right, and also you had a 50,000 pounds of food destroyed after fire ripped through. Is it Maricopa? Let's see, we got this here. Mountain View Community Church. So you can see you have firefighters putting out fire there at azfamily.com. You guys can check this out. You keep going on to the Rio's Fresh Onion Warehouse damaged in fire. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these dates. How do you recover from that? Because of course, your chain is going to be broken. So, you know, yikes. Okay, I'm just going to keep going here. Oops, where am I? I'm going to get lost in the sauce there. Hi, DJ Vision Barnett. So, yeah, for those who are just coming in, we're talking about the destruction of many food distribution centers and yeah, so we keep going on here. So according to this, Dr. Benjamin Braddock also says Taylor Farms in Salinas, California. Taylor Farms is on fire. Okay, let's see if they'll probably take me over to the Twitter for that one too. Ay. So could I say, let me just put this on here. So somebody's got this one on wheels. Somebody's like chasing this one. So let me take you over to the Twitter to see this. It's almost like, you guys, we talk about mockery and stuff. It's like they're destroying things by fire. It's in that kind of like scripturally mocking things like that. Like they're destroying our sustenance by fire. They're destroying our world by fire. But where have we heard that before? Where have we heard that things would be destroyed by fire? I'm just saying. Let's see. Okay, so I've got so many of these burning down facilities here. So this is the Rio Fresh Onion warehouse. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this one for you, or at least, yeah. So I have all of these lined up here. So San Juan, Texas, on March 31st, 2022, a structure fire significantly damaged a large portion of the largest fresh onion packing facilities in South Texas. This is where your food's going. The Rio Fresh Inc. BB family from their offices in San Juan, Texas, would like to share the following statement regarding last night's tragic news. So you can see this was March. Okay. And here's Taylor Farms. So I'm going to go ahead and share this one with you. Salinas, California. Look at this. Look at this fire and stuff. Like, do you guys see this? DJ Vision Barnett. So have I heard about the family show that got canceled? Oh my gosh. No. DJ Vision. I am trying to keep my stomach together here. Okay. I'm going to rewind this one back. Here's another facility. Look at these clouds and the fire. Look at this. Look at it. Do you see that orange? I mean, can you guys believe? I mean, this is Alien Believers is here. No way, Marcy T. Oh my gosh, Marcy T. Marty Lauderdale is here. Hi, Marty Lauderdale. So let's look at that one more time real quick. I'll bump it back. So this is another facility that's been torched. This is Salinas, California. Oh, wow, Marcy T. Oh, wow. This is another food processing plant. Okay, so this is, pretty bad, pretty gross here. Okay, so I'm going to minimize that one. So as you can see, this trend here, that's Taylor Farms. Okay, and then so here, not just in the U.S., they said this was last month in Taiwan. So let's just keep it rolling here. We're doing a little bit of it. We're crossing the international lines here. So let's see how their food is going up in smokes too. All right, let me just hit the button here. Thanks everybody so much for coming in. We're talking about the destruction of food plants and distribution centers, as well as the definition of middle class being redefined. I've got a few more things for you, and the pendulum's coming out. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This is Taiwan. Okay, so here we go, folks. All right, so uh Joseph Francis Burton. Yes, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to bring the pendulum out in just a second here. But do you guys see that we're dealing with something that's, shout out to Marcy T. This is very dark. And to me, this is your world war right here, because we're being attacked from the gut. Attack us through the food. You can control people through the belly, right? You can do that, right? This is how you destabilize. This is how you break the spirit of man. Your belly hits the spine, and then what? Let me bring the pendulum out here. I think I'd be good to say that some people want to chime in, give us your thoughts, but it's mockery. Like, it's mockery. They're mocking everywhere they can. All right, so yes, you want to speak up, speak out. You got pain at the pump. If you can tell us about the prices in your area, or if you can tell us about the range in prices, the price differences from place to place, you're welcome to do that as well. So thank you guys so much for coming in. All right, so the pendulum's out there, but yes, we can probably go on ad infinitum on these, but the bottom line is our food lines are being destroyed. It's kind of like, what is it? I don't know much about warfare, but what do they take out bridges and do things like that against, what is it? The enemy? Is that how you destabilize, or you bring people to their knees with this kind of destruction? But that was Taiwan. So what was it? Carrefour logistics center, or that was in Taiwan. That's a grocery store logistics center. But did you see the flames? And also, there's talk of the 27 million chickens and turkeys and counting are being culled because of the bird flu. So I got that. I can keep the tab rolling. Look who's here. It's Marcy T. Hi, Marcy T. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, hanging around. I'm here. How are you?
Well, it seems like every single day we're going deeper, slipping deeper and deeper and deeper into this sort of tail spinning that is never going to end. Really? Hi, Derek.
Who we got? Derek C. Williams. Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to forgive me if I don't look too good and I'm glistening because I'm sweating. As you can see, we're doing our workout, exercise, mind, body, and spirit. All right. How you, Marcy?
Go ahead. There you go. So who's going first? What you got? Who's up first?
Go ahead, Derek.
Come on, Derek.
Yeah. Well,
bring
just
on
less
the
than
glisten.
Yeah. Well, I got less than a few minutes of your time because I'm still exercising. But yeah, I was reading about the food processing plants being burned down, and they did the same thing with hydroxychloroquine this time last year. Over in India and one other country that is good for that processed a bunch of hydroxychloroquine. Those plants were mysteriously blown up, and so what it is that they just trying to starve people out slowly but surely, and those who aren't paying attention, they just gonna be caught out there. Like I had told you, excuse me, I'm just sweating all over the place. What's going to happen is people who aren't paying attention, they just gonna starve. And I would say for myself, I'm not as prepared as say a Mike Adams or any of these survivalists, but the people on my street and people that I know, I'm far ahead than them. But like I said, I can tell y'all that because y'all are on YouTube, but I just don't talk about stuff like that. But the fact is that those who fail to prepare to fail. Like that, those who fail to prepare to fail. And so that's pretty much it as far as that goes, and all the other stuff that you were mentioning, what can I say? It's just par for the course. That's pretty much it. I yield to Miss Marcy.
Derek, you've been blowing them away in those videos about Mr. Noah H.
Ferrari.
And you see, this is what they're doing. This is these people's plan. Because why? Because we're worthless.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Useless eaters. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like they got to figure out how to get rid of us. Oh, okay. Let's starve them to death.
I mean, they're going to end up failing in the long run, but that's after a whole bunch of people aren't here no more. That's usually the way it works.
Yeah.
Anytime because, you know, if it's not just trying to kill you through stealth, they'll use this whole utopia type thing. And there's no such thing.
No.
Man must have challenges. When you say, like, right now, I was just reading an article today, they not have palm scanning technology in food stores in Austin, Texas. All this convenience stuff, now that's a bear trap. That's a bear trap.
Yes.
You know. But I mean, just like I said, for myself, I just can speak for me. If you aren't, sorry y'all for all this, if you're not going to take the initiative to look into these things and buy water, buy Vienna sausage, anything, spam, anything, if you're not going to take the time to do that, and we're so enthralled with Will Smith and this rapper that's supposed to be messing with a transsexual and stuff that don't matter. Mike Tyson fighting on an airplane, all that stuff is irrelevant. You're going to starve. And what it is that they'll be begging people that they criticize, they will be begging. They will be literally begging, please, can you give me a morsel of food? Ain't gonna go down. You know. So what can I say?
It's like we've been begging these people to listen to us for how long? I mean, us guys right here on the screen right now, we've known each other a couple years now because of the lockdowns. And we've been screaming it at least that long, I know. And I've been doing it way before that. So, and I know you two have been too. And it's like, it's right in front of their face, Derek. Why can't they see?
Well, I think it's a case of just being willfully ignorant. These topics are uncomfortable to talk about. Just they just uncomfortable. I mean, you just can't be you know, in Mississippi a lot of times we'll sit around, drink beer, play spades. You can't bring up Noah Yuval Harari while you playing spades. Nobody want to hear that. They just don't. They just don't want to hear that. That is not a red table talk discussion. It'll never happen. And so that the people who aren't privy to these things for whatever reason, they just gonna have to reap the whirlwind. And so, you know, I was gonna do a video today, and I just can paraphrase. I was gonna do a video today saying, well, you know, perhaps maybe like my third channel, maybe I'm just spitting into the wind, but we don't talk about things of note, and especially in the Black community, we aren't talking about anything of note. Black Spring with Autumn the other night was in Media Bears chat, and all those people were engaged. All those people knew what time it is. But you go to any live right now in Black YouTube, I can assure you they aren't talking about nothing. And for that reason, they're going to fall.
Derek, you're not just spitting in the wind. Today, I was trying to tell one of my friends about Harari, and she said, well, can you send me a video? I went right to your channel and I sent her 3 of those videos you put out there, and she met him through you. So see, you're not just spitting in the wind. And you know, those were excellent work. And I appreciate it because it's like, who is the, and then, you know, you keep bringing it up to the forefront. And this is the only way that the word is getting out, because they're not telling us anything. They're just throwing flying monkeys at us from every angle that they can. And here's the other thing. What happens when there's no food, no protein? People get weak. Weak people get sick. Sick people will do anything to save their children, for one. You see, this is more of attrition.
Well, right before they get sick and right before they start begging, they will start breaking into homes.
Yeah, and they'll start,
because if you look to however you get your information, Miss Marcy, I would assume that everyone to a man. Any of these analysts would tell you that leads to social unrest.
Yeah.
Because it's happening overseas now. It's happening in countries overseas now. So depending on your source, aside from CNN, aside from
I don't
CNN,
go there.
aside from MSNBC, aside from David Muir,
Right. We don't go there, do we?
You know,
Negative.
I mean, what can I tell you? You know, what can I tell you? So, you know, you reap the whirlwind, and like I said, I just thank you, Miss Marcy, for that vote of confidence. But the fact is that most of the people that I know on YouTube and online, they just ain't there. And so what it is, I don't even broach the subject. So it's always good to go to Media Bear, Queen's Throne, Snapzilla Gorilla, Black Spring with Autumn, Felicia Lockhart. It's just a few, but it's I made the joke last year when I was able to go live. If you go search it, at that time it was 31 million YouTube channels. And you know, you just have to forgive me for being on the racial thing, but the fact is that I'm Black and I look at people that look like me and they ain't talking about a damn thing. And if anyone has if no one has any margin of error, it's Black America. None of us have any margin for error, but particularly the sons and daughters of slaves. And that's just a pet peeve of mine. But nonetheless, I got to say to hell with them. If Media Bear talking about it, I'm right there. So at this point, color is irrelevant, but just the same, it hurts. Put it like that. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. It hurts because they ain't talking about nothing.
Derek, I mean, I was talking to Autumn about I live near Flint, Michigan. So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
only people that are wearing these are the people of color.
Yeah. And I heard Detroit is the sickest out there, and they the most shot up in Michigan from per capita, from what I was reading. And I name names. The Miss Yo-Yo show, she's based in Detroit, and she's she's an essential worker. She'll tell you. She actually got her a Moderna blog on her channel. And I just ain't hard. I didn't have a heart to tell her. You know, she need her money, and I understand that too. If you need your money and you ain't wise enough to put in an exemption, or you got that documentation already, I understand why people do it. You see, but Detroit is sick. Detroit is sick. Period. End of story. You know, so it's just the fact that they are willfully ignorant. So can't help you. Can't help you. You on your own.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say this to Derek C. Williams. I know exactly what you're talking about, Derek, and it is frustrating, and it's also it's disheartening, and it's very sad to see people that are of, you know, this faction, these attributes, these characteristics, our view, they are the most. They are in another zone. You said it best. They ain't talking about nothing. Okay, they're talking about these derelict performers and lewd and you know, and just house of ill reputes, and you know, they're talking about nothing all over the place. Hip hop stuff. Who's the kingpin in New York on the Star Report, or you know, it's that same kind of stuff every single night on some of these YouTubes, and they got much bigger platforms than I ever have.
And I think and thank you, Ms. Martin. I think that entertainment and having fun has its place, because Black Spring with Autumn, I know you know, last year every Sunday I was doing a shout out video. I got my cigar and I got my drink of choice. I mean, but you have to have balance. But the problem with us is that we have the pendulum is swung too far to the silly stuff, way too far. I've often said that we have enough. Yeah, we got enough. But Marcia, I would say this here in response to that. If you have a Duck Dynasty or a Jersey Shore, that's all right, because you got reliable sources, you got a layer of reports, you have something to counterbalance. The blacks don't have that. At least you can say that much about white folks. Beautiful thing. So if they can have a Pauly show or a Jersey Show, whatever that reality show is, that's fine. But they also have a countervailing response to it.
Oh, I got you.
Because You can't just be all
balance.
you
It's all
can't be
about
all serious all the time. I'm
right.
you know, yeah, you got to have fun. Especially in a time like
I
this. You
was
got like the very reason why I
so
was on
crazy.
Black Room Autumn said, the very reason I was going outside doing my lives was just to show folks like, no, man, they scared you. So you need to have fun.
Right.
But in our case, all we do is laugh. That's an issue.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
And then here's to my, I won't say anything else, but to another point, I saw Magic Johnson doing some goofy dance. Oh, Magic, it's like some kind of goofy dance with your stepping one leg over another across. Do you see the distraction? They keep the low hanging fruit bruised, demoralized, and they keep us low so that we hit all the elements that come through.
Bread and
Scrub the
circus.
ground.
Bread
Yes,
and
they keep
circus.
the bread and circus. So what is Magic Johnson dancing around like this? If I can find that, I don't even know. Is it another one of those stupid challenges that how they keep bringing these
Could be.
challenges out? And this is exactly what
Oh my
that's how they do it.
God. Those are so stupid.
Could be,
yeah.
but I mean, but that will take off because that's what folks they eat that up. They eat that up. So what can I tell you? But I'll step aside now, Miss Marcy, and salute the Black Spring with Autumn. Thank you for having me on. Thank you, Miss Marty,
Oh,
for
we love
subscribing.
talking to you, Derek, every time. We're always like, where's Derek to talk to us?
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, look, y'all
Thank
take
you.
care of yourself here.
Thanks so much, Derek. Ladies and
Bye.
gentlemen, Derek C. Williams.
Keep
Please
working
get over
out,
to
dude.
Derek. Please get over to his channel if you haven't had a chance to check him out. Please do it at your
He's got some
convenience.
good stuff.
Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much,
All
Derek.
right. Y'all take care. Salute.
Bye, honey.
Bye. All right. So that was Derek C. Williams, ladies and gentlemen, and he is on fire per usual. So if you haven't, as they say, if you haven't gotten over there yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. But Marcy T is also firing off some great content, so you need to get over there as well. Marcy T, you can tell them about that. But yes, it is to what is it? What is it? The scripture, my people, when they say my people perish because of lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't they believe? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen the most religious people turn a blind eye to all of this. And I lost my whatever for those people. Like, if something goes down, I don't want those people on my team, on my side. I wouldn't go anywhere near those people because they're not prepared. Just to what Derek was saying, they're not prepared for anything. They're prepared for the newest shoe that's coming out. They're prepared for the new what's that?
It's Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will reject thee.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a warning.
Well, I said, but what's it going to take to wait? Sorry. Station crumbling here. Falling apart at the station here.
I think what it's going to take is this. Lots of it too, and lots of it on our knees, because they can't see the country is being imploded. I mean, come on, 206 CEOs step down, and you don't bat an eye. Twitter doesn't want to sell. Isn't that a corporation's whole meaning of existence, is to make more money? But they're that fell, Disney fell, CNN fell. It's all falling. And this is exactly what you said earlier. This is the war. They're not seeing it as war because it's not. So there was a book written over 15 years ago. I think Deborah Tavares wrote it, and it was called Silent Weapons, Deadly Wars. So that's exactly what's going on. It's a new kind of warfare, which involves propaganda, deep, dark propaganda, including showing actual video games and commercials and cinematography, Autumn, like you said, producing pictures of that there's a war going on, for example, or there's a plane crashed, for example, over there. I mean, NASA, not a space area. It's all lies.
Well, it's overwhelming, and
It
as,
is.
as Derek said, this is where the problem is where it's going to come in.
Yeah, and then they're
Is
going to
that
starve us.
these people are going to start, the people are going to start attacking us because
Yeah.
they're not going to have what they need, and they haven't
Right.
prepared. They
Right.
haven't had, they're too slothful and too lazy. A lot of these people don't want to read anything, and I'm going to say it, they're lazy. They're lazy, sloths that don't want to do anything but just mock what they hear on TV, and I'm sick of it.
Me too. But when they starve a nation, we can't fight. We're susceptible to illnesses.
But look at it, Marcy T.
You
A
can't
month
even
from-
think.
No, a month from now, I don't know what they're doing about this Title 42 at the border, but can you imagine?
Yeah, we already don't have any food, so come on, let's flood the border in. Come on. And people can't see this. And we're crazy. Or I don't want to know. Hello, what does that even mean? You don't want to know that your country's being taken over. How? And these are grown-ups, so-called. They've really did a number on everybody with the fluoride, I think, and the Prozac in the water, and the chemicals dumping down in from air, land, sea. They don't. It's like it's some mass delusion. And the Bible did say at this time they'd be given over to a strong delusion.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I see it. I mean, and they just...
Maybe that's why we can't believe it, because we can see it. And we're like, what the heck is this about?
Well, here's the thing, Marcy, and thanks to you and a lot of the other subscribers here and just, people that I've met on here, that I think once you start seeing things, it just kind of, you start more things that you've seen before don't look the same to you.
Exactly.
Not something new.
Right.
But I'm saying things that you've seen every day, and all of a sudden, wait a minute, what did I just see? It's like you see things for the first time.
Yeah. That's
after seeing them for years and years and years.
Do you remember that movie on him with the sunglasses? He had to put it was called They Live. It's John Carpenter. You have to watch that. This is what we're going through too. John Carpenter, They Live. And he was trying to, every time he put on sunglasses, he could see the real world, and they had like demon faces, and everything said consume, buy, sex, drugs, hate, love your government, every time he put the glasses on. And he was trying to get his friends to see and put the glasses on. They would not do it. He had to, this was one of the longest fight scenes in a movie, was him trying to get his friend to put his glasses on. And he finally put it on, and he was like, because he could see. So this is what we're going through here. They don't want to put on those glasses. It's like,
no, they don't.
Rose-colored ones.
But they'll put them on for a fake slap heard around the world.
Or to save Ukraine. Well, let me see. We need to save Ukraine. What is this about? And he's standing up there, the so-called leader of the free world, and they believe that too. I mean, come on, you've lost your doggone mind. And he's up there, well, and we're going to save Ukraine, and we're sending all America's money to Ukraine, okay? You guys starve, but we're sending it all to Ukraine. Okay, end of conference. And
Marcy,
everybody, what are we supposed to do?
Marcy, I'm telling you, things just kind of keep getting darker and darker, which kind of leads me to the next story. We're gonna watch this. I actually have footage on this, and it's and I talked about it before when it came up. It was basically California, Newsom, basically kind of giving them the keys to infanticide on some level.
Oh,
and now so I have a little bit of footage on that.
Okay, I'm gonna eat my crackers because I gotta eat something watching movie.
Easy with the symbolism, Marcy.
Cracker.
You used to be oh my gosh. You used to be able to say that, and but
Jesus. Here, I'll use the proper name. Jesus.
So hang on just one second. Okay. So we're gonna go to the next one, but I appreciate you so much, you and Derek C. Williams, for coming up. I really appreciate that. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen with you. So this is coming off of another. I follow this guy on Instagram. I'm not so much with the narratives. I'm not clinging to narratives and big flags. And then it's time. I would rather actions speak louder than words to me, and I don't see that from all these wonderful bodies and all these. To me, our Congress, they come off to me like some type of, self-righteous welfare kings and queens.
Yeah,
because I don't see it. I don't see them. All I see them doing is a little bit of theater every now and then and moving their hands around like people, so people think they know what they're talking about, and then and then they go away.
Right.
So, but I don't see them challenging anything. The CDC is making rules and judgments on things. So here, let's see if we can hear
criminals too.
Hang on, just 1 second here. I'm gonna blow this up for you guys. So let's get to this one. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. And according to this is the AB 2223, reproductive health. I'm surprised they didn't put reproductive rights on here. But here, this has a few pages to it. So this is the California State Assembly. So let's hear this.
Ambiguity of the bill is clear.
Hang on, let me just scroll it down and make sure you get the
ambiguity of the bill is clear. However, a close inspection of this bill does allow for the legalization of the killing of innocent newborn children up to the age of 28 days. A yes vote is an unequivocal
28 days
of the legalized killing of a newborn baby. And with all of my heart, I oppose AB 2223 and urge you to vote no.
I'm going to go to the next page here.
Much. We will go.
So this is the AB 2223, kill the bill, not the baby here. And then this is stop legalizing infanticide. Is stop AB 2223, the murder bill. And according to this, grizzlies protect their young. Let's be mama bears. No AB 2223.
Does that say lesbi?
Oh my gosh. She's throwing caution to the wind with that with the spacing there. Get your kerning right. Get your game up on your kerning, lady. So you see this? Was it defund Planned Parenthood? Pray to end abortion. 40 days for life. www.40daysforlife.com. So as you can see, I didn't really hear all the comments on the end of that one, but hang on.
Ambiguity of the bill is clear. However,
so here's the deal. According to this, that the bill just passed. It passed 5-3.
No.
It passed 5-3. I'm going to follow this one up really quick. I just saw this on the social media, and I heard about it.
Pass. I'm sorry. They're lying.
Let me just check this. Here.
Just like when they recalled that nincompoop. And then they said, nope, it didn't pass. They're full of crap, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I guess more than this will come out on this. the vote. I didn't see the vote on it, but it shows a 5-3 vote on it. I wish I could get that. If I can get any of that footage, I'll pull it. But yeah, this is California.
This is the last. California is totally corrupt. And you see how they're corrupt. And I mean, remember, okay, I hate keep bringing her up, but that one girl that doesn't wear any butt covering.
Madonna.
Yeah, her too. But
her and
yeah.
Lizzo.
Right.
Lizzo.
Well, then I saw today Vanessa Hutchinson, and I looked at her. She had on like just a bra and panties in a see-through dress, and they're saying, "Oh, isn't she just the queen of fashion?" It's like, I swear, that book, The Emperor Has No Clothes. Again, these people don't wear clothes now, and they're walking around and they're influencing people's children, and the people are letting them watch these on videos and think it's all cute, you know, to have your baby girl up there shaking her butt all over the place. I mean, they're hitting us from all aspects of morality. And if we don't agree with them, there's something wrong with us, and we're going to get in trouble. I saw Obama just did a speech at Harvard. Did I send you that? Did you see it?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen it. No, I don't.
Anyway, he's on there telling us that basically if you don't get with the program what we want, you know, he just produced that movie on Netflix, and Netflix went down. It was a man expecting a baby. It like Netflix, everybody jumped off the ship there. Yeah. So it's like total corruption, and then they're going to starve us to death too.
I'm telling you, it's overwhelming, Marcy. Hi, Freedom's March. It's nice to see you in the house on the Friday night. Nice to see you. Jermaine G. Hello to everybody that's just coming in. Latina Patriot, Latina Pro Constitution Americana, welcome in. Thank you for coming in. And Disavow Podcast, 2 hats. Thank you so much for coming in. So, yeah, we've kind of gone over a few things on this particular stream, and everything from the middle class being redefined, of course, from the elite. They write, I mean, the Pew Institute is in DC, and it's their elite that gets to say whether you get to tell you who you are, you know, where you rank in the scheme of things, you know, in their scheme of things. Facilities being destroyed.
What do you think about the low number, 30,000? That doesn't sound like
that doesn't.
That sounds like really bad. Like almost poverty level.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it middle class, or are we talking the poverty lines here? Like where's the poverty line? You know, is there a national average, or they can't keep up with anything? They can't. I would imagine they can't keep up. But they say, oh, they change, but not to worry. They change their definitions all the time. So is that supposed to make us feel better?
Oh, so you're lying.
Yeah, they say they change their definitions.
That ain't how we. What are we? How kindergartners? House rules? Oh, we get to change it. See, that's what they do. They do all this stuff, and then they blame us and make us pay.
I don't know. We'll find out. I have no idea. But Joseph Francis Burton says, I still don't know how they are going to starve us with a few of random fires.
Not just that. They're culling hens that lay eggs and putting them in red bags, saying that there's a bird flu. Eggs are predicted to
I think I ran into that. I think I ran into
$4 a carton. They're burning the seed shops down too. It's an all-out battle. They're hitting everything. And then all blaming it on the sickness. Or a sickness. And remember, they change the rules all the time.
Well, I see a few other stories, but I'm not sure where they are in terms of when Biden mentioned the actual food shortages. I'm not sure what he was actually referring to, but I think they know, um, whether it's manufactured or,
Well, it's definitely manufactured. They said they would do that. Like back in the 80s, Rockefeller said, "He who controls the food will control the world." That's one of their favorite sayings, though. They say, "He who controls the weather will control the world." That's what what's his name? The one that took over for John Kennedy. I'm having a brain fart. That's from the chemtrails. He said, "He who controls the world." Lyndon Baines Johnson at Texas AMU, graduating class of 62, said, "He who controls the weather will control the world." And then, of course, the Rothschild said, "He who controls the money." And they're all the same people from what I can see.
Well, the thing that I remember, if we just go back to 2019, go back to 2020, that a lot of our shelves, I mean, they were actually rationing some of the things. Like you had limits on what you could actually get, and at that time it was because they had they didn't have enough essential workers, or many people were sick with CV-19, so they did not. So the shelves were low.
Yeah.
And so, but I guess this will be an extension of that. I mean, the shelves are still not full around here. And I don't know when they were full last. Probably like 8 months ago or something. Or 9 months. 9 months ago.
I just went to Aldi's and they didn't have any fruit. The bread was really sporadically in some of their snacks. There was no fruit. The milk was $3 a gallon. The eggs were $2.50 for 12, and they didn't have any Kleenex at all. So, and then a bunch of their shelves were just completely cleared out. I mean, this is it looks contrived to me at every angle, spot, everywhere you go. And it's like one day I went into Walmart and they were hiding the tissue paper and toilet paper. And I screamed, "I know you got the stuff in the back. Stop trying to produce something that's not here." Then the next thing I know, they got the product out on the shelf. So you tell me.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I remember that they were like, I'm like, okay, it seems like they have a lot of stuff stocked up. So I don't know why they're not really putting it. I remember the baby wipes was an issue.
No, this time, Autumn, I think they're really doing something to destroy all this stuff. This time it's going to be real. It is real. Then they got the fertilizers. They can't get that. That's another.
Well, I did read something about we did do a piece on the fertilizer, like in, what was it?
The Ukraine and Russia produce all the fertilizer. They've been paying farmers not to grow. And they've been paying them over their market price to destroy crops too.
I think I remember seeing some of that where they were plowing the food under.
I mean, it's like, beginning. Come on, you gotta, you don't really need to be, what was that one? Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. Autumn, do you know who those are?
I remember those books, but I wasn't I wasn't necessarily a fan of
I was always the sleuth. I always wanted to be well, I always liked digging into mystery, I guess. I liked Scooby-Doo too. But there was a show on, I didn't know if it was Friday night. Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. I had to watch it, but I mean, it's like, no, these aren't all coincidences. It's totally what they've already wrote it down years ago what they were gonna do. It's just coming to be now. That's all I can see.
Well, of course, we'll just keep following these stories. But like I said, I didn't know that some similar things were happening, globally, like just like fires and things like that going on.
Oh yeah, all over. And like I said, the fertilizer. Then they're talking about they don't have people to ship the stuff. Remember all the shipping issues? I mean, everything. Yep. And it's like, come on now.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, we'll see how much longer. I mean, into the summer, I think that's when things will be. Because I don't know if people tend to eat more in the summer. I know kids do when they're out of school. At least that's what happened when I was growing up. In the summertime, you're in and out of the refrigerator constantly.
Yeah, because you're. Well, we used to be out swimming all the time or out playing, but now they're in the house on their phone looking at the television. Anyway.
Yeah, did you I mean, yeah, so I'm just going to continue to follow some of those. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes up. But I think that's pretty much what I had. Actually, I had one more thing about the mask ruling was a big deal this week. Chaos, more chaos and confusion per usual, right? That's the common denominator.
I think it's them saying there was chaos. I don't believe everybody, oh, I'm so chaotic. I don't have to wear this anymore. Everyone I saw, they're all.
Well, anyway, the thing is that I saw was that the discrepancies from people that were, say, for instance, if they're, traveling from New Jersey to New York, one state's doing one thing and another state's doing another. And it's, if you're riding public transportation, then you really don't, I guess you don't really know. You just have to proceed. I don't know what you're going to do, but it's, it's like everything else. One state's doing this, the other state's doing that. This one's doing this, this one's doing that. But what I have here is actually from, Market Watch, is that the CV tally, the Justice Department will not appeal the face flags ruling unless CDC says they are still needed. The Justice Department said Tuesday it would not appeal a federal judge's ruling that ended the U.S. face flag mandate on public transportation unless the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention believes the requirement is still necessary.
The CDC is not our boss. Did you elect the CDC?
No.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's okay. The abrupt overturning of the mandate on Monday created confusion on Tuesday, as some airlines immediately dropped their mandates while other transport systems said they would keep theirs, creating a mismatch of local rules. Somebody says President Joe Biden went all in on flexibility Tuesday when asked if Americans should mask up on planes. Quote, that's up to them, end quote. Biden declared during a visit to Portsmouth, New Hampshire. The CDC has not yet made an announcement on its thinking. The COVID-19 cases are rising again across the U.S. after their steep decline early in the year, driven by the BA.2 variant.
Oh my!
And two new subvariants that appear to be even more infectious. The two named BA.2.12 and BA.2.121 were highlighted by health officials in New York State last week. It accounted for more than 70% of new cases in central New York State in March, according to a statement.
Why is it always in New York State too?
I don't know. It's just the two are sublineages. Sublineages of the BA.2. What does that stand for? I mean, like I had a friend with a bad attitude.
Badass.
BA.2.
Yeah, okay.
Which has become dominant in the world, accounted for 99.2.
And I mean, come on, you Reese. Like we're supposed to believe this? Like we're supposed to believe this?
Well, I mean, I don't know how the people in New York are getting along with this. I don't know.
I would have moved out of New York 20 years ago. My goodness, I feel sorry for them poor people.
Well, it also says that the U.S. is averaging 41,989 cases a day, according to a New York Times tracker, up to 47% from 2 weeks ago. The country is averaging 14,790 hospitalizations a day, down 4% from 2 weeks ago, the lowest since the first weeks of the pandemic. The daily death toll has fallen below 600 to 410 on average. On a global basis, total cases now are above 506 million.
Oh, my.
Total deaths are above 6.2 million, according to a data aggregated by Johns Hopkins University, with the U.S. still leading the way with 80.7 million cases and 366 deaths. I don't know.
Lord,
I mean, this is from marketwatch.com, but this is a little bit
they're just spouting off baloney. This is baloney. I mean, it's like it's total propaganda.
I mean, I don't know where these
In my
I don't
opinion.
know. I'm just not seeing people, I'm not seeing a whole lot of reportings I'm not seeing as much about it anymore, even, you know what I mean? On a local coverage or I'm just not.
I don't watch TV like that, but I don't, I mean, every time I hear the radio on in the car or something, it puts propaganda up about the virus here. So they're keeping it in, and it irritates me every time I hear it. Then I was at the doctor's office not watching, but having to hear their stupid television, and it's all over the television all the time. Watch out. We got this, and they got that one, and he's doing it, and it's like, man, shut up. But here's the other thing. I heard that it's part of rituals that they like to pull on us, where they say, okay, we're going to get rid of the, let's say, mask, for example, and then they renege on it, and they just pull it out, and it really causes psychological issues in the people that they're pulling this on. Yeah.
Well, it's a lot. I think a lot of people have I don't know. I'm not sure. A lot of people think this is over, and I don't think it is. I think it's far from over.
It's never going to be over.
I really don't.
Until Jesus comes.
Okay, so here's Joseph Francis Burton. He says, if there is a food shortage, do you think it is intentional? Do you think they want you to starve?
Not just me, everybody. Yes, absolutely. This is part of their plans. It's not just me making this up or anybody else making it. This is what they do. They did this during World War I in the Bolshevik Revolution. They did this to Venezuela a couple years back. This is their MO. So it's not just starving me per se. It's everyone.
So. Wait a minute. We have Disavowed Podcast says, now I'm scared to leave my house, ladies.
Well, don't be scared to leave your house. They can get in your house too. They're going to get in mine and get me.
Well, here's the thing. This is what I always encourage you guys to do. You can always cross-check, cross-reference, crisscross, double dutch, whatever you need to do. But, this is... these are the things that I find to be I'm most curious about. And these are the things that I share on this actual channel. But there's one piece that I didn't quite get to, and I'm not going to get into it on this one, but it's about the CDC drops all countries from its top level CV-19 category. And I don't see there again, the CDC. Can we just get some clarity on what their role is?
Sounds like they're the boss.
I've never heard the CDC so much in my life.
I don't
Never.
remember. I don't recall it saying me saying, "Yeah, I want the CDC to run my life," because I don't know anything. Just the CDC does. I mean, come on.
So yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna wrap us up on this segment, and I appreciate you guys for coming in, and for Derek C. Williams and Marcy T for coming
Thank
on.
you, Autumn. And
Yes, I
thank
really
you
appreciate it.
for the questions and stuff like that.
Well, and then to me, I haven't done. I know some of you are probably expert preppers out there, and you're probably light years ahead of. You're better off than many people. But you don't want to wait for. You don't want to have to. I guess get
Do you
ready. You
like
want to
tuna
be ready.
fish, Autumn?
I do,
Well,
but
they
it's
got
gotten
it.
expensive. It's gotten expensive. I've
Well,
seen it
at
go up
Aldi's,
$3.
it was $1.09 a can for white albacore in water. So
Where did you see
Aldi's,
that?
do you have Aldi's there?
We do.
That's where they got pretty well. That was before all this other stuff, but that I would suggest getting a couple cases of that. If you like, I mean, I wish I liked it. I was like, man, I wish I liked fish. I would grab this. That'd be easy. 1 can a day. That's all you get. Yeah, they've done this before. This is what they do. It's controls with the stomach. That way they can lure people into fun camps. Let's call them like Hillary did.
Fun
With food, they're building these camps all over too. You can go look that up in your state. It'll show you the camps they're building, and it's like if they build, they're gonna fill them up too. Why? Who? What? These are questions we all need to look at. And the more people that understand what's going on and is able to tell somebody else so they can tell somebody else, we have the numbers. It's just everybody's all over the place because they can't believe that something this diabolical could be taking place. Number one, it was written in the Bible, so we know this is real. Number two, they write it down themselves. They have papers, a paper trail, thousands of years of what they were going to do. This is all in history. I used to love history. It was my favorite subject. I just loved it. I like stories and stuff. But his story, the winner takes all, including the narrative. They get to make up his story for history. So, and they write it down because they like to brag because they're narcissists and sociopathic and everything else like this. So they've been doing it forever. I mean, go look at that Harari guy. You want to see who these people are? He's them.
Well, on him, I did see he was on 60 Minutes with Anderson Cooper, and typically I don't watch that. I don't watch Anderson Cooper on CNN. I don't watch any of his programs, but that's where, I think he did an interview with him last year, Harari last year. And that's when he got into basically, so you guys need to surrender. We have to surrender. And by the way, and teach them everything they need to destroy. See, that's like, to me, the kind of the full circle. If you train a human to become a machine, and then you want the machine, and now you want the human to train the machine to destroy the human. It's just kind of cyclical like that.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that's kind of what happens. I don't speak for veterans or anything, but I kind of find that that's the point of contention with them, is that, you've trained them to train them. But then when they start to recognize, hey, where have I seen this before? Then they become the enemy. You've got your adversary, because you made it.
Yeah.
And you will bore more adversaries because you create them,
You
So-
know, these people have bodyguards and they need them. There's reasons why. It's like we got to wake up. And I wish I could come on here and say, oh, yes, it's all nothing. No, no, but I can't. I've been studying this 20 years or more, and I knew what was coming. We all did that, has been studying this stuff. And when you see it, and then it's written in the Bible as well, like you're reading a paper, it's like, come on, that's not coincidences. Something's going on. And for you not to even, you got to see it. And if you don't, you just don't. But I can see it clearly. And I know you can, Autumn.
Well, what I will say is that a lot of things, I think, if I see something, if I see parallels and things that historically, it does make me, think, okay, where have I seen this before? Where have I read about this? Where have I,
And when you start seeing it, you're like, oh my goodness. I don't want to see it. I guess I do, though, because I keep looking at it, because I want to tell everybody, because I believe that's what we're here for each other. So anyway, I'll shut up now. I'm getting tired and my contacts are like
well, I
into
appreciate
my
you.
eyes.
I appreciate you for coming on, as well as Derek C. Williams. So
yeah,
I'm
I
going
just
to-
encourage everybody, don't believe a word I say, don't believe a word Autumn says. Go look it up yourselves. That's all. See if we're lying. We could be making it all up, but we're not. Go ahead, look. You'll see it too. Much love, everybody.
Thank you, Marcy T.
Take
Thanks
care,
so much.
sister. Love you.
I will do my best.
I'm still listening. Bye.
All right, thanks so much. So Tinfoil Brat's here, and thank you so much for coming in. I think I got you by the last. I didn't get a whole lot of your comments in. And Tinfoil Brat had a comment earlier. She said they are going after our beloved fur babies as well. They intend to wear us down in a variety of ways. Major reduction in pet food production, or perhaps just distribution issues. And Marty Lauderdale says, I told my sister over 1 year before the pandemic that I saw a pandemic likely coming, followed by food shortages and economical collapse. Well, like I said, I appreciate everybody's insight and for you guys coming on. So yeah, we got into, just a few lines. Yeah, so I was curious about them all. I decided not to go into the Mike Tyson situation. I just decided not to do that. Not on this one, but maybe later. All right, so I'm going to sign us off here, and we'll start from the top. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, here we are. From the top, we have Derek C. Williams, Joseph Francis Burton. Thank you so much for tuning in. Fancy Truth was our first person in on this segment, as well as Marcy T. and Derek C. Williams. Thank you guys so much for coming. And thank you guys so much for coming up on and letting us hear your concerns and your thoughts on what's going on or where we are and where you think we're going. I appreciate you for speaking up. And let's see, who else did we have? DJ Vision Barnett was here. DJ, you snuck in here. I appreciate it. A Disavowed Podcast. Thank you so much for coming in. And who else did I have here? And Joseph Francis Burton says, we had a fire here in El Paso back in February. A couple of elementary schools. 4 girls were charged with arson. Okay. And what else do we have here? 2 hats. 2 hats was here. Jermaine G came in. Thank you so much, Jermaine G, for coming in. And I think Latina Pro Constitution Americana, thank you for coming in. Risen Ability, I appreciate it. Marty Lauderdale, thank you so much for coming in. And yes, I think Marcy, you might want to check out Marcy's channel. She's got some new content up there. And Marcy, you didn't get into any of your content for today, but that's okay. You guys can, check things out as you wish. And Henfoil Brat was here. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And Marty Lauderdale, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. And your kindness here. So quite a few stories there. Sometimes some of it's on like some of the same stuff. But it kind of keeps, some of the stuff keeps coming up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, you guys have a great rest of your Friday evening. And we'll see what shakes loose. And thanks for coming into the Friday Night Mocktales. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And let's see, Marty Lauderdale comes in with our final comment, and she says, "I'm not panicked. Just look at things rational and with common sense, but to a blind eye, turn a blind eye into all of these things in their totality. IMHO is not wise. That's all I'm saying." All right, guys. I thank you guys, and I appreciate all of your opinions and your skepticism, and and we should investigate things and reprove and prove all things is what we should, as much as we can. We're available. And I thank you guys again. So have a great rest of your Friday evening, and I will see you guys around. Take care.